Hello and welcome back to another certified OGJFM video. Ever since the beginning of time, Audi has been known to make cars that go fast in a straight line, but otherwise can be pretty boring to drive. They tend to understeer quite a lot because of the whole drivetrain situation, which for us petrolheads is probably the worst thing a car can do. We all know that I love drifting cars, and in today's video we're gonna find out if Audi is capable of making cars that are fun to drive. So in other words, can Audi make driftable cars?
I really have to say, it was not as easy to find a solution for this problem, but it wouldn't be a Sheepman video if we didn't have any. And today is finally the day that we get to see if an Audi really can be fun to drive and if you can drift Audis. And as you can probably already guess, the solution is reversing into the picture right now. Ja, schauen wir mal, was drin ist. Yeah, here it is. I feel like me, throwback like 8 years ago when I still had an R8.
Yeah.
That was like my first ever proper car, was a car like this, but it had quattro, so it was not rear-wheel drive, which we'll get to in a point. Before we start this video properly and before we introduce you to the car, I just want to give a quick shout out to Graphit Performance, the guys that were responsible for this monstrosity in my driveway. Yeah, thank you for your very decent transport of this very nice car. And yeah, I just want to say, if you guys ever need a professional transport, I think yeah, you probably saw that these guys are the right ones to call. I'm gonna put a link in my description below if you ever need anything. They have like a lot of solutions for your transport problems, as you can see. Anyway, let's get back to this. And this is an Audi R8. But it's not a normal R8. It is, well, first of all, it is an R8 RWS. And RWS is Spanish. It means something like rear wheels solo, which means this car is rear-wheel drive, which is a good thing in our case. Because if everything goes to plan, in today's video, these rear tires are not going to be spared. We will see how this R8 drifts and if it is comparable to everything that is in my garage. So all the BMWs that I have. This is like the main purpose of today's video. I love today's video because I get to do my part and we get to see if Audi after all is, well, exciting to drive. Let's get to the car. This is not very stock, as you can see. It has like all the Audi sports parts that you can buy from Audi on this car. And that is honestly quite amazing because these parts are very expensive. And this means I have to be careful in today's video because I don't want to ruin any of these parts. Next of all, this car is custom built. It has like a custom built underside with like a shitload of vents and everything to make the brakes cool and to get more aerodynamics and everything. I can show you right now because we don't have to lift here in this garage anymore. But I saw it yesterday and it looks absolutely insane. On the interior, this car is like every R8. It doesn't have the bucket seats, but these seats are actually better because let me tell you, I had the bucket seats in my R8. They were horrible to sit in. These are pretty nice and they look amazing. You have obviously the typical Audi R8 steering wheel with the drive select mode and start-stop engine. I actually love the interior of the R8s.
Yeah.
And when I see it like this right now, I kind of miss my R8 a little bit. But yeah, I think it is absolutely beautiful. There's all the carbon fiber that you need in the center console. I think the doors are actually pretty nice as well. You will see it while driving. It's actually a pretty comfortable car to drive, which is always a good thing. Cluster here, it's absolutely beautiful. Audi did a great job designing this. Yeah. Well, in here, this is Audi's very typical 5.2 liter 10-cylinder engine. It is absolutely a beautiful engine and it sounds so good. Next of all, obviously you have the carbon fiber engine covers, which I had on mine as well. They're actually quite rare. You wouldn't expect that. Most of them choose the plastic versions. And this is what makes the R8 pretty great in my opinion, because you actually have quite a lot of space in the R8. If you compare it to like my Ferrari, which I used to have, this is actually amazing. Mine had a air compressor tank in there because I was a silly goofy boy back then and I had my R8
Big boy.
air suspension, stands life. But yeah, this is how a normal R8 front looks. Pretty nice.
Why?
Let's see if this car makes me fall in love again.
You know why it's so much room in the front?
Because the engine is in the back.
This, of course, and you can put a full can of beer inside.
I have to say, when I see this car like this, I get a little bit emotional and I kind of really, like I really said, I really miss mine. So let's see if driving this car changes my opinion or if it makes it even worse, and I really want one again.
I really like the design.
Yeah, it looks amazing. It's actually a very beautiful.
It's a homage to Group P.
Yeah, I think we couldn't get any better R8 for today's video.
Yeah.
Because this is actually really beautiful.
Yeah.
Let's see how it drives. Yeah, two things that I noticed right now. First of all, this car was designed a few years ago, so your normal iPhone doesn't really fit in this thing anymore. And second of all, I think this is like some special edition. I glaube, this is a... I'm not the biggest Audi guy, so I'm not 100% sure, but I think this might be a GT, like R8 GT.
I don't know.
Deswegen hat auch die Sportteile drauf, die Audi Sportteile. By the way, this car has MTM suspension that is
A racetrack.
designed.
Yeah.
So they told us that we might get some weird sounds from the front axle. So if you hear anything, just ignore it, okay? We're gonna do the same. Okay, let's go. Fuel up the car, fuel up our bodies, and then we're ready to rumble. Yeah, we will see how this drives. I'm not 100% sure if it is going to slide or like drift as good as the BMWs, but we're here to find out today. My predictions are that it's going to probably understeer a little bit when we enter the corners.
Yeah.
But we'll see how bad it really is. After all, it is still an Audi, so it has a little bit of Audi DNA maybe attached to it.
I think it's too light on the front and too heavy in the back because everything is in the back or in the middle.
We will see if this is true. So far, it drives amazing. The thing about the R8 is that there's just such a comfortable car that you can easily daily drive on like a day-to-day basis. Especially with these seats. It feels like I'm literally just sitting in a lowered A1 or something.
Yeah.
I mean, it is pretty tight here in the interior, but the interior itself is absolutely beautiful. I really love the sleek design of these R8s. I think it's actually more beautiful than in the Huracans and everything. I really love these buttons here. Feels good to be back.
It's a nice throwback.
Yeah.
Ja.
Das fühlt sich an wie meine damals mit der Senker drin.
Yeah.
But it already has quite a significant amount of wheel spin, I have to say. Well, obviously these are probably not the ideal situations right now. We have literally snow on the side of the road. So, I'm a bit nervous now, but now we will find out what they really did when they built this car. What was their purpose? How does it work? How does it feel like? Do I like it? Is it cheapman approved? First little test road. Let's just see how it goes. I mean, obviously the car is incredibly fast. Don't have to doubt. There's like no doubt about that. Ja, da will ich schon quer gehen, da will ich schon
Oh
quer gehen.
yeah.
I mean, obviously today it's perfect.
Oh, geil. Oh, oh Alter. Das geht saugut.
Feels a bit like my Speziale. I like it.
Yeah, it's very cool.
It's a bit tricky situation here in this road, I have to say, because in some corners it's like really slippery. I mean, after all, we nearly have winter here, so I have to be a bit careful because I really don't want to throw this car away. But it feels amazing to drive. Yeah, you have to be a bit careful though on the Gegenwender. Gegenwender is fake. It works very well, I really have to say. But it is a little bit tricky. You have to be careful, especially once the car catches, because it catches hard. That's typical with these types of engine, because the engine is so far in the back. Obviously with the GT3RS, there's still a chicken. Oh, ist der Unchick, Alter. The GT3RS would be even worse in today's conditions, so this is not as bad as it could be.
Oh, perfect.
Feels very nice.
Yeah.
Scared. This is honestly one of the more tricky cars to drive sideways. Yeah, I mean, I told you, the car snaps back so quickly, especially when you shift to second or something. Suspension feels very nice though. I think the easiest way to describe it is just the car grips up, and that's also why it gets so fast. Because Mani already said, it's not... The car just grips up and it gets so fast. The thing is that I'm just worried about is if you don't have the steering wheel to the correct position at any time, you will most likely end up next to the road in a ditch. The car just grips up randomly, you know? Mm-hmm. It's not very predictable. With the BMWs, it's just predictable. You just smash the gas and eventually, slowly, the car gets grip. So you have much time to correct the steering wheel. Mm-hmm. But with this car, it just instantly, at one point, at one random point, gets grip in the rear tires. And once you're sideways and you have grip in the rear tires, it's a bad thing. Mm-hmm. Because then your car will suddenly go in the direction that you're facing. So for example, if this here's the corner, and I am on the exit, and my car is facing inward because I am, you know, I went sideways, and then it grips up here, you will likely end up inside the corner, you know? And same way other way, you know, because sometimes the car, it does like this at the end of the corner, and if it grips up there, you end up in the ditch. I hope you guys understand what I'm trying to say. You have to be careful and you have to be cautious all the time while drifting this car. Within the BMW, you can just do it with the one hand, and you can be chill about it. It's a very different experience for once. And I am actually very surprised by Audi. They did a pretty good job with this car. Okay, I just hope that there's no more snow here on this road. Mal wieder meine POV-Ansicht für euch hochgeschaltet, Jungs.
Sound is schon geil.
I love the 10-cylinder sound. Yeah. My favorite type of engines are probably 6-cylinder turbos and V8s, but this is just such a typical sound, this Audi 10-cylinder sound. I think it's so good. Okay, I really have to be careful here on this road because we literally have snow. You guys can't imagine how slippery it is here. I mean, the car itself drives absolutely fantastic. I think this is a very good car, and I honestly think this is the best version of the R8 that you can get, because I think it makes most sense in this configuration with the rear-wheel drive and everything. And it is honestly way more fun than my R8 used to be. So that is also a very good thing. It feels good, but I don't want snow. This is the first time in my life where I don't want snow. This is such a bad idea. The shifting and everything, I mean, obviously, the R8 has been out by quite some time, so most of you guys should be familiar. It works absolutely fantastic. You know, the gearbox and everything is just such a well-refined car.
Nice.
I don't know why, but the car sometimes shifts into second for some reason.
By itself?
Yeah, by itself. Oh, you guys can't imagine how I'm sweating right now. Look how much snow there is on the road.
Yeah. Perfect.
But the car still has a surprisingly a good amount of traction sometimes. Boah, da ist so viel Gatsch. Schau, ich stehe von der Bremse drin.
Perfekt.
This is so exhausting, although I'm not even going that fast. If you've ever driven on snow in summer tires, you know how bad it is. Ist das Eis oder ist das...
Ja. Nice. Yeah, baby.
Oh, this is a beautiful road. Car feels so good to drive, honestly. It's absolutely insane.
Du fährst einfach nur ein und dann kommt er hinten und dann gibst Gas und tust dagegen lenken. Es schaut so leicht aus.
Yeah, I mean, getting the car to slide is really easy.
Yeah.
That's not the hard part. The hard part is catching the car again and then just continuing the slide. Because it has quite some powers. It's pretty easy to get it to go sideways. But the tricky part really is, I think it's probably mostly due to the geometry of the whole car. You know, it's not really meant to go sideways compared to like the BMWs and everything. It's more meant for lap times. It feels very similar to my Speciale, but the Speciale was, I think, a little bit better even to slide than this car here. Let's just go and enjoy the view a little bit because it is actually amazing. What a car. What a great car. Yeah, thanks again to the mysterious person for letting me drive this car. That was absolutely fantastic. Although the last bit felt a little bit weird, I really have to say. With the POV, I hope you guys can always kind of feel how it really is to drive this car. And let me tell you, this is one amazing car, honestly. This makes me kind of want to have an R8 again. This makes me kind of want to have an Audi again. I think they should do stuff like this more often. You know, the Quattro all-wheel drive system is amazing and it works really well in snow. But with this car, for example, you can also have fun in the summertime. You can go slide around your car. And I think if you get really used to it, and if it's your own car, which this one is not mine, you can really play around with it quite a lot. Probably do like third gear slides, because it is very nice, like I already said, to get the car sideways. Just probably would need to change the tires a little bit so they don't grip up that much. Yeah, what a nice little experience. Honestly, this changed my view on Audi one more time. I mean, the S2 was already great, but this one here, that felt amazing. I really had fun today. And this car makes me kind of want to get more supercars again. I know shitboxes are fun, but this for once is just a nice experience. I think this video proves that after all, you still can have fun with an Audi. No matter what the haters say, I may be a little bit of an Audi hater sometimes, but deep down in my heart, I have to say, they also build great cars. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you again very soon for the next one.